Hey, Nation, back with Dave Sobel, going around the horn. It's Q2. Welcome to Q2. How you doing?
Spring is here. Vaccines are rolling out. It is an exciting time. Wow.
Yeah, it is. It's to say the least. Fasten your seatbelts. Hey, you're the guy I go to on topics concerning SolarWinds. You worked for them for a number of years, and we have an update that SolarWinds MSP has changed their name to Enable. Now, I remember Gavin at Enable, the Canadian dude, back yesteryear. In fact, he got acquired before it was even fashionable to get acquired.
Yep. No, he got acquired in 13, and good for him. I'm always celebratory of an entrepreneur who exits that way.
Yeah, exactly. So paint the landscape. What's going on with the name change, the rebranding? What say you?
Well, so let's separate out the name change from the strategic move, obviously, so that they are going back out on their own. They believe that they will get the ability to control their own destiny. I believe it's going to be much more about who they're going to be acquired. They can now do more acquisitions on their own. They're going to raise the money to do so. This also means that they can do smaller deals when compared to what SolarWinds corporate, the parent entity, was doing. So in full disclosure, I'm a shareholder in SolarWinds. So as it divests, I am a shareholder. I want to recognize the past of a name, but I tell you, of all the things to do to dust off a 20-year-old name as your relaunch just feels like the worst marketing decision of all time. So here's an idea.
It got my attention. Yeah,
let's blow the old dust off an old name just to remind us the core technologies are 20 years old. That's not how you go forth into a new era, by calling back to 20 years ago. I just don't buy it. If you think about rebrand names like, Bell Atlantic rebranding as Verizon, like making up names or companies that spin off, they always want to embrace a new identity to talk about being forward thinking. So from my perspective as a branding guy who thinks about that, I'm like, that's the one choice, literally the one choice that was a bad one you could have made.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why you're calling back to that. It just seems bad. I get it from the business execution, I get all those moves and fine. I'm waiting for them to do something that I get interested by. But from a marketing perspective, I'm just, what a waste.
It got my attention, and I'm trying to think of when I've seen that in our space before. I don't believe I have.
Perhaps because it's not a unique good idea, but a unique bad one.
Yeah. It, on a positive rebranding, you may recall, boy, I remember the magazine was phone.com magazine, owned by the group out of Phoenix. I think it's Virgo Publishing. And then fast forward the movie, they're now channel partners. They got acquired by Informa. That was a good rebranding because we went to a couple of their shows when they were still phone.com. A gentleman named Mike Saxby was kind of our main guy over there. Super good guy.
Right.
And we were exploring VoIP, as they called it then.
Right.
And but that bugged me. That's, dude, phone. Really? And so they did the right thing. You see what I'm trying to say? That
sure.
worked.
And rebrandings are a great opportunity. This is your opportunity to deliver a new message, and you have to think more about what your potential prospects, what your existing customers are going to walk away from. What is the impression that you want to give? And in particular, that's oftentimes why you embrace a new or create a word, or you go in some direction because you want to define that. Their message is literally, we want to be defined by the past.
Yeah.
Okay. I have heard your message loud and clear. You would like to be defined by the past. Okay.
Yeah, God bless you. Is there an effective date for this? Is this now, with hearing, that the word on the street, that this is now, I can type that in and be resolved to the website thing?
So obviously they are existing as a wholly owned subsidiary of SolarWinds right now. That is, they are trading under the single name. We have no date. We have no particular date in terms of when they officially split and are traded on the stock market. So we don't have a date from that. That is to be expected. They are still going through the due diligence. There is a whole process to be done with that. I would anticipate, based on their indications, it's going to happen this quarter. That seems to be their push and their desires to make it happen this quarter. Functionally, like let's be also fair. Functionally, for most MSP and IT services partners, functionally this is nothing for them to worry about. They are functionally already a distinct entity. They have been operating in that way for a period of time. It's the same products. So, functionally, this actually isn't that big a deal from day-to-day operations perspective. It really is just do you believe they will execute on the growth strategy that they're putting forth?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I sure appreciate your perspective. We'll catch you on the flip side. Where can people hear your podcast and learn more about you? I always want to get that plug in.
Well, I appreciate that. You can look for The Business of Tech. It's available on all your favorite podcatchers, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. And you can find everything about what I do on businessof.tech. That's the website, as well as available on YouTube with a link right there.
All right, my friend. Take care.
Thanks for having me.